Well, time to empower you now with some stock ideas for the next trading week. So let's take it first to Kunal. Kunal, what are you recommending?
Yes, there are two stocks which I'm recommending, and both on the buy side, because I believe that the momentum for the market is still bullish, and if the market takes supports at crucial levels of 515, 050 to 100, I think that is a very strong support zone. So I'm initiating to buy for a couple of weeks perspective. The first is Aban offshore. It's excellent charts broken out of the 200 DMA, and if you look historically also, whenever the stock has managed to break 200 DMA, it has shown very aggressive momentum. So I believe that the momentum for the stock would still continue, even if you look at Friday's performance. When the market was probably behaving on a very lackluster kind of a note or a mixed note, this was one of the stock which managed to sustain its momentum. So I'm looking at a target of 460 on Aban offshore, and someone who's entering at this point can keep a stop loss of 410 from a couple of weeks perspective. The second stock which I am recommending is BF Utility. Yet again an excellent chart in terms of momentum. It's managed to break a range of that 400 barrier, and the moment and traded about 400 and 410 region. It had shown a very strong positive momentum. Again, the stock is just trading very close to its 200 DMA, and comfortably above in terms of volume indicators. So I believe that the momentum for the stock would continue. There is a very minor resistance at 490, and even on Friday, this was a level where the stock probably managed to have some sort of resistance. So I think once that is broken above 490, the stock can cruise easily to 525 levels. Anyone who's entering now at 470, 480 levels can keep a stop loss of 450 on BF Utility. Again, this is from 1 to 2 weeks perspective.
Okay, so over the next week or two, you could look at buying into BF Utilities as well as an Aban offshore. But Gaurang, what are the fundamental ideas that you've identified for us?
Yes, so we have two stock ideas, and first a disclosure on both of them. We do have a positive coverage on both these stocks, that's a disclosure, and we would have recommended them to our clients. So first one is Tata Motors. And the idea over here on both these stocks is that you could possibly identify stocks in the frontline or large cap category which are bottoming out or virtually at its bottom, and there is not much of downside from here. So Tata Motors close to about 330, 335 is an excellent opportunity to get into the stock. There were concerns in terms of JLR and the numbers and the margins thereafter, but all those negativities are short-lived. On the domestic front, on the Tata Motors, the vehicles numbers looked a little bit disappointing, but we hear that they are working on certain strategies and introduction of new engines and models in terms of Nano is concerned. Now we expect on the domestic as well as in the international front the momentum to pick up in terms of month-on-month numbers, which will translate into a decent bottom line and of course profitability. So from here on, your downside is quite protected. At the worst, 220 kind of levels is what you could possibly see on Tata Motors. So keeping your downside protected, we are looking at a target about 375. Since it is a fundamental call, we are talking about 12 to 16 months time horizon. So Tata Motors at current levels also, one can definitely go and buy into it. The second one is Bharti Airtel. The stock is hovering around about 300, 320 for a very long time and consolidating over here. There were issues, DOT, TRAI and the telecom authorities in terms of 2G recommendations that have come to. There have been too much of flip and flop. But we believe that there will be intervention, and it would be ruling in favor of the telecom companies. Wherein again, with the kind of presence that Bharti has, and of course not only in the domestic market but also in the overseas category, we expect the revenues to look quite robust going forward from here on. So your worst case scenario, your downside could be close to about 300 or 285. But your uptick could be as much as 400 rupees. As a disclosure, our earlier target was 445. But keeping in mind the kind of momentum and of course the renewal of 2G licenses which will come across very soon, we have reduced our target to 400. So Tata Motors a target of 375, Bharti Airtel a target of 400, and both the stocks with a time frame about 12 to 16 month time horizon.